On a quiet suburban street in Hudson, Ohio, the neighbors heard nothing unusual. But inside one home, horror was unfolding. A beloved university professor, respected by colleagues, adored by students, and loved by his 2 children, lay dead on the floor. Shot multiple times. There were no signs of forced entry. The wine glasses on the table hinted at company. And yet, the only clue to who killed him came not from fingerprints or eyewitnesses, but from a dating app. This wasn't a robbery gone wrong. It was something darker, something that began with a swipe and ended in blood. Welcome back to Crime Indeed, where we dive deep into the world of true crime and uncover the real stories behind the headlines. Today's case is one that shocked not only a university community, but also anyone who has ever trusted a stranger they met online. This is the story of Todd Morgan, a 41-year-old professor at Cleveland State University. He was intelligent, caring, and deeply admired in his field. But in September 2021, Todd's life came to a brutal and unexpected end inside his own home. What investigators found in the days after his death revealed a tangled web of digital footprints, disturbing online searches, and a chilling betrayal of trust. But who really was Todd Morgan? And why did his story end in violence? Let's dive into the tragic case of the murder of Todd Morgan. Todd Morgan was not the kind of man you'd expect to see on a crime show. He was a business professor at Cleveland State University, known for his sharp intellect and approachable personality. Colleagues described him as someone who could light up a classroom, blending academic rigor with humor and warmth. His students admired him not only for his teaching but for the genuine interest he took in their lives and careers. Outside of the lecture hall, Todd was a father. His 2 children were the center of his world. Friends say he was dedicated to them, often rearranging his schedule to spend time with them. He was also a son, a brother, and a trusted friend. By all accounts, Todd's life was stable, successful, and filled with purpose. He had worked hard for everything he had: a respectable career, a beautiful home, and the chance to build a future for his kids. But Todd, like so many others, was also searching for companionship. And in today's digital world, that meant turning to dating apps. It was through one of those apps that his life would intersect with someone who would ultimately end it. Todd Morgan had matched with a young woman named Terreionna Paschal on the dating app Bumble. She was 23 years old, nearly 20 years younger than him. They began chatting, exchanged numbers, and after a few days, decided to meet in person. On the night of September 18th, Paschal went to Todd's home in Hudson. According to evidence later revealed in court, the 2 spent the evening drinking wine. But what began as a casual encounter quickly spiraled into something far more sinister. Sometime during that night, multiple gunshots rang out inside the home. The next day, after Todd failed to respond to calls and a 911 call came from his residence, police were dispatched to check on him. What they found was a scene of chaos.
I was wondering if I'd be able to request a wellness check on someone.
Okay, what's going on?
So my daughter was supposed to be picked up by her father today, and I got a call from the school that she was still at the school, so I ended up picking her up. They tried to contact him. I tried to call him a couple times and haven't received anything back.
And what's his name?
Todd Morgan.
Has he ever done anything like this?
No, I don't think he would forget his daughter from school, but we are going through some custody issues right now, which is why I find it to be a little bit more unusual.
When you call him, does it go straight to voicemail or does it ring?
It rings.
Good.
2015 Porsche, black in color to Todd Morgan from that address. Valid native, has the CCW.
Is he in the floor? Oh, shoot. You said you see blood? 110 radio. Go around back. Get EMS out here. Oh boy. There's a lot of blood. Party looks to be, I might have fell. Crap. Oh, open. Oh wow.
Todd Morgan lay dead inside the home, shot several times. Shell casings littered the floor. Bloody footprints trailed across the room. The half-finished glasses of wine were still sitting out. There was no forced entry, no signs of burglary. Whoever had been in that house, Todd had let them in willingly. The investigation was only just beginning, but detectives already suspected this was no random crime. Detectives first combed the home for physical evidence, casings, prints, footprints. But in the digital age, the real trail was online. Todd's phone revealed a series of text messages exchanged with Paschal. The chats began on Bumble, quickly moving to private texting. They had arranged to meet in person that very night. Cell phone data placed Paschal at Todd's house during the window when he was killed. But what really raised alarms were Paschal's internet searches in the days that followed. Investigators discovered she had Googled her own name more than 40 times. She also searched for, what does Apple share with authorities? What happens if police track your phone? These searches painted a chilling picture. She knew she was being looked at. She knew her digital trail was damning. When detectives brought her in for questioning, she initially denied involvement. But the evidence was mounting. The wine, the texts, the phone records, the online searches. And soon, witnesses began telling investigators about Paschal's troubled life. She had a history of unstable behavior, legal trouble, and involvement in sex work. Prosecutors would later suggest that money, or anger over it, was the spark that led to Todd's death. By late 2021, Paschal was arrested and charged with aggravated murder. The legal
transfer.
Okay, so the morning of April 19th, here's what we have. We have this Cash App payment, right? I went through for $50. We have another Cash App payment that was 23 minutes later for $1,000. We have this vehicle leaving Todd Morgan's house at around 7:23 in the morning on April 19th. You said that's your car.
Mm-hmm.
Have your phone at 328 West Streetsboro Street on April 19th at 7 in the morning. Actually have your phone at that address after midnight on April 19th, which looks like it was there overnight. It's not possible. Your DNA is inside of that house. Black and Miles are inside of that house. Kind of shipments that are inside of the house that match shoes that you're wearing in Facebook photos.
Process dragged on, but in April 2023, Paschal made a surprising move. She pleaded guilty.
Yes, to his family. I'm very sorry, and I hope that one day that you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. That's it.
There would be no long trial, no jury deliberations. Instead, the evidence was overwhelming enough that a guilty plea was the only option left. At her sentencing, Todd's family had the chance to speak. His mother delivered heartbreaking words. "I would like to say I hope you burn in hell, but I can't, because my son wouldn't want that. He was kind, forgiving, and full of grace. But you took him from us, and we will never be the same." Paschal showed little emotion. She offered no real explanation for why she had done it. The courtroom was heavy with grief. For Todd's colleagues and students, it was the end of an era. For his family, it was the end of a life that had meant everything to them. Paschal was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 23 years. She was also placed on the state's violent offender registry. For Todd's family, it was a measure of justice, but not closure. No sentence could bring back their son, their brother, their father. At Cleveland State University, colleagues held vigils and memorials. Students shared stories of how Todd had inspired them, supported them, and shaped their futures. The university community grieved not just the loss of a professor, but the senselessness of the act. A man who had dedicated his life to knowledge and mentorship was gone because of a single night, a single encounter, and a single pull of the trigger. The murder of Todd Morgan raises haunting questions about the risks we take when we let strangers into our lives. Dating apps connect millions of people every day. Most encounters are safe, even life-changing in positive ways. But sometimes, the anonymity of the digital world hides danger. Todd Morgan didn't know that the woman he invited into his home that night would be the last person he would ever see. What drove Terreionna Paschal to take his life? Was it a dispute over money, a sudden burst of violence, or something deeper that no one will ever fully understand? One thing is certain, Todd's death left a hole that will never be filled. So what do you think? Was justice truly served in this case? Do you believe his sentence fits the crime? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the tragic murder of Todd Morgan. If you found this video insightful and want to see more stories like this, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly true crime investigations. For more chilling stories of crimes that shock communities, check out this playlist right here. Point to screen. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the scariest stories are true.